Welcome everyone to the second episode of the Sideline Sitdown. Let's go! Cheers to that, buddy. Jeez. Round 2.
Yeah, boy.
I'm your host, Jacob Larson. This is my co-host, David Fox. And today on the sideline, we're going to be talking about our top 3 players per position in the NBA. Yeah. I feel like this will be a very either heated debate or maybe we'll agree. Maybe we'll have the exact same list.
Maybe I'll agree if it's possible.
Yeah, probably not, but let's see how it goes. So, what do you want to start with? Point guard, small forward?
We should just go down the list from point guard to the bottom, right?
Yeah, no, that's fine with me. You can
sense.
do that.
It's in order, yeah.
You can do that.
Okay, so
you can start. You can have the first honor of starting.
All right, so do you want me to go 3 to 1 or 1 to 3?
Do you have honorable mentions?
Fuck no.
Oh my god. This guy doesn't even have honorable mentions.
Oh shit, sorry, I'll put 1 honorable mention. That's basically
no, it's too late. You already messed it up.
Honorable mentions just putting number 4.
I text this guy, I'm like, yo, make sure you have honorable mentions.
Fucking top 3.
A top 3 and an honorable mention.
Top 3, that just means
That's top 4.
That's top 4.
Top 3. I have honorable mentions, he doesn't. It's no big deal. Not throwing shade, but...
Alright. So I'll start from my third best point guard.
Yep, I'm just gonna pull my list up.
I think that a lot of people, like with my top 3, people you can argue any of them for number 2. Actually, no, I think number 1's just number 1.
Okay.
And if you don't agree with me, let's argue. But number
Okay.
2 and 3.
Okay.
I see people putting them as their number 1s personally.
So they're like interchangeable depending on who you're
Yeah, a
talking
lot
about.
of people will put these 3 up on their list, and they'll add someone. I'm gonna say it outright. I did not add Russell Westbrook to my top 3 point guard list. So
Okay, we're gonna have some issues.
we're gonna have problems. I don't like Russell Westbrook that much, so we'll talk about it. Okay, so you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 3 point guard I'm gonna start off is Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's pretty good.
Chris Paul, Houston
Chris
Rockets.
Paul's pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's the only problem with Chris Paul is he's always getting injured all the damn time. Every playoffs comes around, his team's looking good. I think he's been injured in 2 or 3 big playoffs.
Last playoffs he got injured. Game 7.
Game 7. He got injured with the Clippers in the first or second round one year, and he's just had a lot of problems. They were good though before, but they just never, they should have won one, but they sucked.
I agree. They were a pretty good team.
Yeah. So, and last year you saw the impact he had in the Houston Golden State series, and then when he got injured, they lost the next 2 games because I'm sure that I'm not saying Houston would have won because I'm a Golden State fan. I know everyone hates me, but
Must be so hard.
Honestly, like rooting for whether or not your team's gonna win. Yeah, but so Chris Paul's on my list. Number 2, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, insane.
I love
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie's crazy. I don't think Kyrie's number 1, and I think people look too much at Kyrie's
He's a player that could be number 1 though.
He could, but I think number 1 should be unanimous. You might not agree.
No, I know who you're saying.
You already know who. Now I'm a Golden State fan. So, but Kyrie's he's an amazing dribbler, best handles in the NBA. He's a great shooter. He can pass the ball. His
probably did you say the best handles in the NBA?
Best handles.
Yeah, I would agree. Probably the best handles in the NBA.
His defense is not the best, but neither is
any other 6-foot point guard. That's probably
most
on your
point
list.
guards don't play defense other than John Wall, Chris Paul,
Kyle Lowry.
And Kyle Lowry
Play some defense.
Plays good defense, yeah. But Kyrie's my number 2. He's clutch too.
Oh, so clutch.
He's the guy you want in the playoff series.
Agreed.
You saw that. Everyone knows Game 7, 2016 finals.
That was lit.
Not mad about that at all.
That was lit.
But yeah, so number 1, Steph Curry. In my opinion, I say Steph Curry is the best point guard in the NBA. And I'm not even going to talk about where I rank him all time before Jacob, comes for me. But yeah, Steph Curry.
Wait. Since you said that, where do you rank him all time point guard? As he takes a sip of his drink. Second all time?
Second all time, baby. Second all time. Name me another point guard other than Magic Johnson who has more MVPs and rings than Steph Curry. With better stats.
Okay, wait. That's not fair.
Okay,
wait. Better point guards than Steph Curry?
All time, yeah. Other than Magic Johnson.
Can I say LeBron James is a point guard?
No. What do you think this is?
The improv
I think
show?
a lot of people just think since that you're in the NBA currently, and since he's not even that old, you just assume that you can't put him up.
He is pretty young still, yeah.
Yeah,
he's
you
like,
assume,
what, 30 years
he's
old?
He's 30, so you assume that you can't put him on the list with like
And the crazy thing, the crazy thing with Curry is like, his game is like I feel like he'll be playing till he's like 30, 36.
Because
like,
he's a shooter.
He's a 3-point
so
shooter.
It's not like
even when he loses his handles,
yeah.
I'm not saying like not playing him at a point guard position, but like say worst case scenario, he gets. When he's 36, he's on a team. Maybe they have another point guard. They throw him shooting guard, and he just splashes threes.
Exactly. And the thing is, people like Derrick Rose, you see how he got injured, and he was the youngest MVP in history.
But he can't shoot. That's the thing.
So he didn't bounce back because his game relies around
Curry,
his ankles.
I feel, and he's been injured a few times.
Yeah,
Steph's
ankles are weak. When he was young in his career, he got injured all the time. He has really weak ankles. But since he's a shooter, primarily, he has more lifespan, sort of.
Agreed.
So, yeah. But I think he's number 2 all the time. He has 3 rings. But we're not going to get into that. Now I can get into that.
This man says number 2. You know what? Okay, you want to know what? He potentially, I could see him being top 2 all time, just not yet. Not until he's done with his career. I feel like right now he is on the verge. Well, it's too early to say.
No, it's not. He has 3 championships.
I feel like Curry is. I don't want to say top 3 just yet,
but you can't think of anyone better than
that's the thing.
So,
but I feel like since he's only 30, I feel like I'm disrespecting some of the other. Like I just feel like I need to. I don't know.
You know what? I see what you're saying because
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I've seen all the other point guards,
and you just know.
And it's like there's Isaiah Thomas, John.
You know, I feel like you made a pretty good case. He's Allen Iverson's up
Allen
there.
Iverson, but the thing is, Allen Iverson never won. So
Westbrook. Actually, want to know what's funny? Our point guard list is actually exactly the same, in the exact same order.
Really?
I have Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, honorable mention Russell Westbrook.
So Westbrook would have been my honorable.
I could honestly see the argument of maybe switching Chris Paul and Westbrook up because Westbrook he's younger, he's more explosive.
I could see that maybe if you're talking about right now because
that's what I'm saying.
And due to Chris Paul's injuries, but personally I feel like it'd be disrespectful to leave because Chris Paul's the best pure point guard out of everyone on the list. He's the best passer.
I think Westbrook gets a lot of hate as well for okay. Wait.
I get why he get. The reason I don't like Westbrook is not because I don't like Westbrook. Like
no, exactly.
I think he can ball. Like he's energetic. He
can ball. He can ball. He's insane.
But he is such his basketball
bonehead.
IQ.
He's a fucking bonehead.
He's so stupid sometimes.
But he can do some bonehead shit that's crazy. Remember when Steven Adams bricks the free throw?
Oh, and then he got the 3. No, I know.
3?
The thing is
that bonehead? So maybe some of his stuff it's not bonehead, but if he made it, it's genius.
No. That play is genius. But his play in general, he averages a lot of assists. But if you notice the way he plays, I know a lot of people don't like him because they're saying he's stat padding his triple doubles.
But he's not. Oh.
I know his rebounding, he does stat pad. There's several videos of him not guarding his defender.
I've seen
so
those.
that he can walk towards the net to grab.
So you can get that trip dub.
Yeah, exactly. And so being a point guard is beyond stats. Being a point guard, you want to lead your team on the
look,
court.
2 years ago he led that. Well, I wouldn't say the team's trash. They had Oladipo, but he was just developing.
No, they're pretty trash.
Steve Adams is good.
Oh, yeah, that's
Andre Roberson is a great defender, can't shoot, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. That team doesn't...
It was okay. It was an okay team, but with Westbrook, it was like a top 5 West.
Yeah, no,
that team had no...
Westbrook has heart, and he is one of the best skilled basketball players.
He's a dog.
His basketball IQ, he just needs to know not to take stupid shots. He takes a lot of dumb shots.
If he could discipline himself more, I could see him becoming the best point guard.
And I think he has to play less.
Wait. A lot of people are going to be mad. We left Damian Lillard off both of our lists.
No one's going to be mad. He got swept by the Pelicans. They didn't even have Cousins. What do you mean? Who's going to be mad?
Drew Holiday did lock him up pretty bad.
Yeah, but Dame's top 5 for me. Oh, actually, but then there's John Wall. But nah.
But this is only top 3.
We're not even going to go
top 3. He's in your top 5, though?
I'm not going to get into it because I don't know about him, John Wall. They're close. I don't know.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and move on to...
So we agree on point guards?
Yeah, all our point guards are the exact same. Just I would have Westbrook as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
I would say
that. I think he deserves that much for sure.
I feel like though if you throw Westbrook on Houston, they probably do about as good but I don't know, it's hard to say.
I feel like you throw Westbrook with a player is going to say, yo,
I don't really like doing theory craft like this. Like, it's like if I take Chris Paul out of the lineup, I put Westbrook in, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
maybe we should just focus on going to shooting guards. We made our case.
We don't know. Like, we don't know what would happen, but, like, I don't know.
Okay, so let's see.
Yeah. Top 3 point guards.
Okay, so shooting guards next. You want to go? You can go first on this one.
Okay. I'll start with 3. So at number 3, I have Victor Oladipo. I feel like he actually, even though he's really only had like one super good season, I feel like last year he really made a case for himself as a top 3 shooting guard. In my opinion, at least.
Yeah, no, you can explain your thing. We'll talk after.
Well, offensively, he's insane. He averaged, 23 or 25?
Yeah,
really good offensive player. Yeah. Really good, actually, on the defensive end as well. That I said the other podcast, DeRozan was the 3rd best two-way player. I said that by accident. I actually meant Victor Oladipo was the best. Okay. The 3rd best, probably two-way player at the shooting guard position. At
the
least.
Shooting guard.
Yeah.
I know DeRozan can play defense, but I don't think he's like an elite defender. I think Oladipo's definitely better.
DeRozan is one of the laziest defenders I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think he's gotten better on defense. He's definitely not.
This guy lets them run past and then just boom and sticks his arm like out and just prays. He's
like a discount James Harden. He plays a little better defense.
You know what? That's actually a perfect analogy. And people aren't on his case as much because he the thing with DeRozan though, he doesn't have to play defense.
And the Raptors play defense, so
yeah, the Raptors are good defensive team.
It's sort of like Golden State.
They kind of copped him out a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I put Oladipo. He was the best player on the Pacers. They came 4th. They took the Cavs to 7 games.
Hey,
that's a hell of a lot more than the Raptors.
Hey, Oladipo's good. I just he's not my top 3, but he's good.
No, he's good. You can see that.
I know. I can see the case for it.
I'll do my honorable mention after I do my other 2.
Okay, so go.
So at number 2, I actually put DeMar DeRozan.
No, explain.
Okay. Here's the only issue with DeMar DeRozan.
You know the fact.
Wait. No, let me say it. No. Stop. Okay, we just roasted the man's defense. It's terrible.
Oh yeah.
Offensively, he's crazy, man. Like you have to admit,
I think he has one of the best mid-range.
I think he has the best mid-range in the whole NBA.
Well, you know what? You could say that, but then there's better shooters for sure. When you get to my list,
better shooters, but
mid-range shot. Okay, if you're talking about taking someone off the dribble for a mid-range shot, I would only put maybe.
I would say James Harden's probably better.
No, not
off the dribble. You don't think so?
At mid-range?
At mid-range.
I don't know. James Harden's shooting percentages are terrible. He's great though. I love James Harden.
Here's the thing. There's only one issue with my. So here's the thing. I see DeRozan. I also have like a really biased opinion of DeRozan being like Raptors are my team.
I know.
So, but the thing is, like, I honestly feel like DeRozan is in the top 3, and I would put him at number 2. But I can see why a lot of people wouldn't because you have who? You have Jimmy Butler.
Well, we'll get to that. Right?
Yeah. But yeah, DeRozan,
I get your case though, because DeRozan's been he shows up a lot in MVP discussion early in mid-range. So I get what you're saying.
The guy got like 7 40-point games at the opening. In 7 games, he got all were 40-point games or something.
No,
like that.
DeMar is one of my favorite players to watch. I think he's the closest thing to Kobe play style. He's got a great off the dribble mid-range.
He's like a Walmart Kobe, but still really good.
He's still really good.
Really good.
If he had a 3-point shot, DeMar
he would be a top 15 player.
Well, I think he's definitely top 15.
You think so right now?
Top 15, yeah, it's 15. I think so. He's scoring wise, he's second to
if you have a super. So okay, wait. Say you have a team like the Boston Celtics who are already insanely defensive. If you put DeRozan in the shooting guard position, he doesn't need to play defense.
No, yeah. If you look at Golden State,
he can get you 25 points a game. Like I feel fairly easily.
Steph Curry is not the best on-ball defender.
No, he's not.
He's a good off-ball defender, but most people know Steph. If you put him one-on-one, his ankles and everything, he can get cooked one-on-one.
I've seen him get cooked by Chris Paul.
Yeah,
CP3.
He works hard.
He crossed him.
But his on-ball defense isn't as good as his off-ball defense. So basically, you can hide him on defense because Golden State's so
exactly.
good.
And I think that's what the Raptors did a lot with they would switch. They would switch him onto a shorter guy than him. So
it's the same thing when you play against the Rockets. You switch James Harden onto whoever you have, and
that's why I think the Raptors versus Houston was such an even as close as you could get because DeRozan and Harden both don't play D and they play the same position.
Yeah,
so it's like they're switching on to their shorter counterparts. So it was like it evened out. Like the two most offensive players are not playing D.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying?
So who's your number 1? I think it's obvious.
I actually had a really hard time picking between number 1. So 1 actually dropped to the honorable mention. And 1, it wasn't like a really hard time, but obviously James Harden is number 1.
I was about to say
James Harden is number
1.
I think what I meant to say is my top 3. This was probably my most difficult top 3 to make
for shooting guard. I think I don't think it was hard for me. I think power forwards was hard for me.
Well, I'll explain why. So James Harden, obviously, like by far and away the best. Literally, the only bad thing about James Harden is defense, and even he'll give you some defense.
No, he won't. He really won't. I don't know if you saw the Golden State series, but I think every time James Harden switched on to somebody, and it's not. At least when Steph's bad at defense, but at least when Steph's guarding somebody, he stays in front of them. He just gets scored over a lot of the time.
He looks like he's at least trying.
I have never seen so many people go by a person in my entire life. So it's amazing how he's number one on everyone's shooting guard list.
But doesn't play defense.
MVP.
See, I have a feeling I know
his defense is that bad.
Okay, I feel like I know who you're going to say is number one now. Are you going to say... Okay,
no, James Harden is number one for me.
The thing is, his defense... Yeah. His offense is just
so much better than everyone else's that you have to put him number one.
That step back three,
that travel. James Harden's unguardable. 1-on-1, he's unguardable.
No, he's the.
So you have to have him number one.
He might be, besides Kevin Durant, the best one-on-one player in the. He probably is the best one-on-one player in the NBA.
Well, you forgot Kyrie.
Well, no. I think James Harden has more scoring potential one-on-one than Kyrie. And he's taller as well. He's like. 6'.
I don't know. You know what? I think they all have a different aspect to their game.
Well, James Harden's got those.
There's like
step
5 unguardable players in my opinion.
Kevin Durant, LeBron, Kyrie, James Harden, and
Steph. Because
those top 5 are definitely undeniably the best one-on-one players.
Yeah, for sure. They're all unguardable in their own way.
Yep. So, let's hear your list.
Okay, so number 3, I have Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to choose between this. If I have to give I'll just give my honorable mention from now. I would have given it to DeRozan, but I feel like Jimmy Butler's been on, I think, 4 all-defensive teams.
He's really good.
So I just wanted to throw it to
DeRozan's
one two-way player.
Team.
I wanted to throw it to a two-way player who can get it done on both ends of the floor, because Jimmy Butler still averages around the same points as DeRozan, even though I think DeMar is still a better scorer, for sure.
Yeah, he definitely is.
But I think overall, Jimmy Butler's great. And I'm a DeMar fan. Like, he's one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah, same here.
So
he's
I
really
can't even... So I'll just leave it at that. Jimmy Butler is great, and... Yeah.
Like we said last episode, superstar player.
Now, here's someone I'll have to talk a lot about who's in your honorable mention, who's my number 2.
I already know.
Klay Thompson.
He realistically also probably should have been on my top. He's like, I kind of forgot about Klay Thompson when I was making the list, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I think...
And I already did so much, I was like, fuck, like, I don't want to move him now.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like, too, is Klay's overlooked because people are just like, he's just
third
Klay.
option.
He's third option, just averages 20 points a game. But you guys know that if...
This guy's got the ball in his hand for 8 seconds a fucking game.
But he scored 60 points off 11 dribbles? Are you kidding me?
That's pretty insane.
And he has the record for points in the quarter. Shot 13 of 13, really I think. 37 points in the quarter.
13 of 13?
37 points in the quarter. It's retarded. It's actually
that was the first quarter too, wasn't it? Or was it the second?
It was like
quarter?
the third. They went up so much.
That's
feeding him the ball.
No, that's undeniable. Yeah, he's definitely a top shooting guard.
So
for sure.
So what that means is that if Kevin Durant wasn't on the team, and if Klay was a first option, Klay would easily be averaging over like 24
probably
points
25.
a game. 20 could average 25.
Super efficient 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he's averaged around 20 points
as the third option.
Yeah, well, as the second option too, with Splash Brothers, Klay was the second option, and Klay's clutch. That's another thing. Yeah. Klay is clutch. I love DeMar, but DeMar doesn't show up in the playoffs all the time.
That was the only thing that was really setting me back, but I was like, you know what? Like,
you're just gonna give it to him? Yeah, because you love him?
Well, it's also like, if he can just not do that in the playoffs, like, if he can just be like, oh, maybe I won't play like shit. Like, if he could do that, I feel like regardless how he plays in the playoffs, he's a top 5 shooting guard.
Oh no, top 5 for sure, and I throw Oladipo in there too, like you said.
Yeah, so I feel like we have the exact same top 5.
I just feel like Oladipo's not as proven as the next 4.
That's the thing. That's why I was hesitant to put Oladipo.
But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. If I could redo my list, I would do it as this: James Harden, Klay Thompson, DeRozan, honorable mention Jimmy G, and then
Oladipo.
Take Oladipo.
Yeah, so our top 5 is in.
It's pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah, but Klay. Plus, he's clutch. You guys, game 6 last year against Houston. I think Golden State was down both games actually at half by double digits.
I remember, and then Klay was locking them up. Was it Eric Gordon? He was.
Klay plays defense too. He's a two-way player.
Very good.
He's locked. Why do you think Steph doesn't have to guard the opposing point guard? Because Klay Thompson's there. Klay's guarding Kyrie.
And he's a tall fuck.
Paul.
Like, he's surprisingly taller than you'd think.
Yeah, and he's tall too. Klay is just. And the thing is, people think that he can only spot up shoot, but Clay, I've seen Clay drive. He can dunk. He just knows how to move without the ball to get open.
He's a very highly efficient basketball player at every position, but he's just used most from the three.
Yeah, and his shooting percentages are crazy. I think I watched him miss one shot in the game 1 of San Antonio's last playoffs. One shot. Watched him miss one. And it was off the side of the backboard. I don't know. But everything else was net. Like, Clay is a clutch guy.
Very clutch.
He's number 2, hands down, in my opinion. I think if he's the number 1 option, he'd be an MVP contention. I don't know, but it's what
we'll never know unless he goes to Lakers and he becomes the number 2 option.
Yeah, so my number 1 is James Harden. I think if you don't have James Harden at your shooting guard list...
Well, he was MVP last year. You can't really not put him as number 1.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have... Well, Westbrook was MVP. We don't have him in our top 3.
That's true. Yeah. That was 2 years ago.
That's true. But yeah, if you don't have James Harden at number 1 on your shooting guard list, you should stop watching basketball, or you have no IQ. And I'm just gonna throw it out there. Like, James Harden, most unguardable shooting guard 1-on-1. He can hit the 3. He's athletic. Plays no defense, so we don't know how he's on the list. But other than the defense, not everyone on these lists is gonna be a lockdown defender, but James Harden...
It's hard to be a lockdown defender.
Yeah, 65 wins last year with Houston. Chris Paul's out
That's why I think he's so impressive, though. It's like, I feel like it's hard to play defense and it's hard to play offense, and he does both, like, at an elite level. And
we forgot to mention that he can ball handle. He
is dirty at ball handle.
Yeah, you guys saw this guy drop the guy, licked his lips. Lefty. I don't know what that jumper was. It was.
Oh yeah, it wasn't very clean.
It wasn't very.
Terrible.
I'm not a shooter at play center, but anyways.
It's trash.
But yeah, and he can pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can pass. He's an elite passer. He averaged like 7, 8 assists or something last year. It's crazy. So.
And James Harden, I feel like we talked about enough already.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Everybody knows he's the best shooting guard.
Yeah, it's hands down.
Easily. MVP of the league. Crazy amount of 30 points per game. Only bad thing is defense, but his offense makes up for it.
Yeah.
He's scoring more points than are getting scored on him. So
yeah, I hope so.
I really do.
I need to look at that stat.
Yeah. No. But like,
he definitely is because
the other shooting guard's not getting more than 30 points a game.
For the most part. But they do switch him all the time.
That's true. Okay, let's not talk about that because I actually have no clue.
I have no idea.
Let's do something. Do you want to do small forwards next? Because that's fairly easy.
That is next. I feel like our small forward list should be exactly the same, but I'm not sure. It should be.
Kawhi's a small forward, correct?
Yeah. So I'm gonna guess. Let's just double. Third, I'm gonna assume we both went Kawhi.
Yep.
Second, Kevin Durant.
Yep.
And number 1, the best player in the league.
Do we even need to talk about this list?
LeBron James. We'll just go briefly through the players and why.
Start with Kawhi.
I think this is the most lopsided list.
The problem with Kawhi, though, Kawhi and Durant could be interchangeable.
But Kawhi didn't play last season, so
if we were talking 2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago, I would have given him a run, but I still think Kevin Durant is the second best player in the world.
By far? Or
second best?
Say Kawhi has a season like he did 2 years ago. Like a second or third place MVP.
I love Kawhi Leonard. I think he's a lockdown defender.
He's a Raptor now.
He's top 3. I think he's top 3 defender in the league. I don't know who the best defender is.
Really good two-way player.
Yeah, like him, Draymond, and who else can play defense?
Rudy Gobert is probably the best.
Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler. Like, these guys are all lockdown defenders. But yeah, Kawhi. So you guys are definitely best two-way player in the NBA by far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Best two-way player. He can score too. I think he averaged 25 points a game a couple years ago.
His MVP, like when he was third, top 3, yeah.
So he can score. We know he can
second.
score.
Was he not second in the MVP race that year?
I think he was third.
Second or third. Yeah.
I think it was behind Harden.
Oh, and the other thing is, like, while Kawhi's been out, like Durant has. We already all knew Durant was crazy, but like he's won 2 Finals MVPs.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's
averages like 25 points per. Is he the number 1 option on Golden State, or does it just depend on a nightly basis?
No, the way Golden State runs is that
whoever's hot is hot.
Steph is always the number 1 option in the sense that. But the thing is, Steph gets more double teams thrown at him than Kevin Durant. So the thing is, Kevin Durant, in my opinion, is the second best player because I think he's actually unguardable and he does play defense.
He's a 7-foot guy that can shoot threes.
Yeah, and he can handle the ball. Like he plays defense. He's crazy. But the thing is,
I feel like him and LeBron are the 2 players in the NBA. Any team they go to are considered
a contender for sure.
Agreed.
But
they might be the only 2 players. Like there's obviously like the Anthony Davises.
Nah, I think you throw Kawhi, Steph, and Harden on the team. They're all contenders still.
Even on say LeBron goes to Brooklyn, is that a contender?
LeBron goes anywhere as contender. You guys see that Cavs team?
It's true. You see the media too. They all
The
hype
Cavs team was trash. LeBron made it a contender. Kevin Durant, it got to a point where OKC used to be so good. They had Harden, Ibaka, and they had Cephalosha, and they had great shooters and defenders. It turned into a two-man team, and they took Golden State to 7 games in 2016, who won 73 games.
Yeah.
So Kevin Durant.
And they were up 3-1. And then they lost.
And Steph was taking Golden State to the playoffs pretty much, I think 2 years before they won the finals. He took them 2 years in a row.
Yeah, he's good.
And he had no All-Stars on his team. So.
I feel like he doesn't get obviously, I don't know. I was going to say, I feel like Steph doesn't get as much respect as he deserves, only because of how good his team around him is.
Yeah, that's
but if you take his team away and he's still
good. He was still balling before they got. But the thing is, they developed because of Steph's leadership too.
Yeah,
and he plays an unselfish style of basketball.
Like he doesn't mind if Durant's the number one.
That's the only reason we don't about Westbrook again is that
he needs to be the number one.
I don't know. Like you have Kevin Durant on your team. I don't want to see you throwing up stupid shots in the clutch.
Give the ball to Durant.
Give the ball to Durant, unless you're Steph Curry. But
well, the thing,
but Steph will give Durant the ball if he's hot. Durant could hit 5 shots in a row, and Westbrook will come down the floor and jack up a 3 for no reason. Yeah, that's why I don't.
Yeah, Durant's really good. Thoughts on LeBron? He's obviously the best player in the world. Deserves to be.
Best player in the world. He's in the GOAT conversation with Michael Jordan. There's nothing to say about LeBron. I will say this though. I think you guys, in general, anybody who's a LeBron fan, you guys overrate his defense. LeBron is not an elite defender. He hasn't played defense since Miami.
In the playoffs, he's a good defender.
He's not. He hasn't played defense since Miami.
You heard it here first. He hasn't played defense since Miami.
How many times did you see him guard Kevin Durant last year?
None.
Exactly.
He guarded Steph a lot, though.
Durant, LeBron looks so good because he's always getting chased down blocks because he's athletic. But LeBron is very lazy at defense because I feel like it's because he feels like he couldn't trust anyone on Cleveland, so he had to do so much work on offense and not playing defense. But he was an elite defender in Miami. But he's not an elite defender anymore. He's got a terrible defensive rating.
He doesn't need to play defense anymore.
Yeah, but he's I expect he's got the body and athleticism he should play defense. But I'm not gonna nitpick. He's still the best player in the world. He can pass.
Agreed.
He's number 1 on the small forward list, the world list.
That's unarguable. Score. I feel like.
Yeah, his
some
jumper.
people might want to nitpick and be like, "Oh, Durant's better than." No.
Nah. Like I love KD, but
so do I.
LeBron's proven to be
maybe
clutch.
in a few years KD can take that spot, but right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what KD does this season. I think it's gonna be a good season. But yeah, LeBron can shoot better now. Like his shooting's improving. He's a bully. Like his body's built, so when he gets into the lane, he's getting fouled, thrown every which way. He's still hitting contact layups,
great
dunking on
finisher
people.
At the rim.
Yeah,
he's worked on that 3 a lot. His 3 is looking pretty good.
Yeah, triple-double threat every night without trying to get a triple-double.
Bro, if he has a 23-point game, I'm like, oh, he didn't play that good.
Exactly. 25, 7 and 7 is a bad game for LeBron in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
LeBron
he's the best player in the league.
Best player in the league. So the small forward list, if you didn't have it in that order, I could understand you changing Kawhi for Durant. But if those aren't your top 3, again,
do you have an honorable mention for small forward? I would say Giannis, but we
put him on the next list because we don't actually. We're talking before.
He's like switches positions a lot.
We don't know each other's list, but we didn't know whether Giannis was a power forward, and I didn't.
So we both just said he's a power. We just put him in a power.
Because it felt bad that we weren't going to talk about him now.
Well, if I could, I would say say we put Giannis as small forward, I would probably put him. Either you could put him 3rd or honorable mention. It depends.
I would still put him 4th. I feel like
I would put him as
Kawhi's a proven playoff contender,
Finals
MVP, and he's a winner.
Champion,
so I definitely wouldn't have Giannis over him. And he has a jump shot.
Speaking of Giannis, let's move to the power forwards. Yes.
Yeah, and the reason also we put Giannis on the power forward list is because the power forwards in the NBA, there's not like a clear top 3.
There's a lot of decent ones.
There's some decent ones, but you're not like, oh, that guy. Like I think there's only 2 superstars that are power forwards since we added Giannis.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is great, but they're not
all-star, superstar.
They're all-star, but not
superstars.
Not superstars.
Yeah. They're not like you add them to your team and you're instantly like all the way from like the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
But do you give your top 3 first and then I'll see.
I just did my top 3. Oh yeah, because we went even.
Yeah. So you can give your top.
Okay, so my top 3 for power forwards. 3rd, I don't know if you'll agree, or a lot of people really hate this player, but Draymond Green. I put him as the 3rd power forward in the NBA.
Yeah, he's a good defender. Get you 10, 8, and 10.
Yeah, I think I have in my head who you put as your third. I don't think they're better than Draymond Green at all. I don't even think they made the All-Star team last year. But they might have. I don't remember. But Draymond Green, he's been All-Star last 2 or 3 seasons, I think. He's won Defensive Player of the Year, second team All Defense. He probably should have been first team All Defense. He can guard 1 to 5, and that means he can guard.
Play point. He can play other positions.
Yeah,
too,
he can guard the point guard position. He can guard the shooting guard, small forward. Yeah, 6 foot. He's an undersized big man who can guard all 5 positions in the NBA.
He's played center a few times, and he's been fairly impressive.
Yeah, he's been their main rebounder on Golden State.
Golden
State hasn't had a center for a while.
He goes in on defense. He definitely plays hard.
Yeah, and his offense, he's not a shooter, that's for damn sure. But
he can sometimes shoot.
He can don't. He shoots like he has a backpack on. It's a meme now.
I've never seen that, but I can see why.
Punches over and just.
I don't know if I'd want to see that.
you need to watch some highlights of his jump shot.
Okay, I should.
He doesn't get off the ground.
I definitely should.
It's horrible. But he gets a couple of them down. But Draymond Green's an elite passer. He's a triple-double threat every night.
That's what I'm saying. And he can get you some blocks.
Yeah,
there was one game he almost got a quadruple-double.
Yeah, it's because he didn't score enough points.
Yeah,
that's why he didn't
the easiest thing he didn't do. He got 10, and 6.
I think he had 2 or something.
Yeah, no.
But I don't know. But he gets. In the playoffs, I saw him pulling down some 17 rebound games.
Very good.
Some 8, 10.
I've heard a lot
games.
of people say he's a better version of Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, because he can pass and he can run. He's probably faster and more athletic. Dennis Rodman could get rebound though.
Dennis Rodman was
defense,
a rebound
that's for damn
machine.
sure.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman played some D.
Yeah,
but
I love Draymond. I think without Draymond, Golden State's offense it doesn't fall apart. I think it falls apart actually because I feel like you need. I think
he also has a lot of when they're switching, he also always knows It's like his IQ seems very high on defense. Yeah,
he has an insane
you'll see him, as far as defenders go, he's always the guy, when they say they shoot and miss, he's always the guy, in front of everybody, pointing, Steph, you're there,
Yeah.
Switch on this guy, I don't want you guarding him, I want him, you take it, you know what I mean? He's the defensive leader.
Yeah.
He's just very good.
I think he's underrated. Honestly, he would have been second on my list if we had Giannis in small forwards, and I think he deserves it. He's obviously not the best shooter, but from a leadership standpoint, being vocal on the court, playing defense, and pass, he can pass, and he's a big man. He can rebound. He does everything. He's just a guy. People are saying if he's in other systems, he wouldn't be as good because he would Golden State, but it doesn't matter because he's doing what he needs to do.
I don't even know about that though. Yeah. I could see him in other systems.
I could too. He's
just as dominant on the defense.
Exactly.
Almost every night, he's the best player on defense.
You guys saw in the 2016 finals, Game 5, Draymond Green suspended. Golden State should have cleaned that series 4-1. He's out of game. They missed him on defense.
Completely different.
They missed him on defense.
Completely different series.
Yeah.
They lost.
They ended up.
They lost.
Steph was injured.
But you can see the impact. As an elite team on Golden State, what happens when you don't have Draymond?
I think they have a better chance without. It sounds dumb to say they have a better chance without Clay or KD. Because they're better shooters.
You just think Draymond adds that much.
But Draymond, I think, is too valuable to the team to give up. You need Draymond and Steph on the team, and Clay. Honestly, Draymond, Steph, and Clay won 73 games without KD, without DeMarcus Cousins.
In the West, going against
the Western Conference. So
yeah, that's a good team.
1 game away from the championship. We know what happened, but still, those 3. So that shows Draymond's worth.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, Giannis. I think that's. Oh, you don't have Giannis number. You have Giannis number 1. You're high. I'm joking.
Whoa. Okay. But I need to hear your reasoning as to why he's number. I need to hear your number 1 first, though. I feel like as well.
I feel like you should have the same number 1, but I mean
we might, but let's see.
Giannis is number 2 because he's not a proven winner in the playoffs. Be honest here.
He's not playing on it. He wasn't playing on a great team.
But I know he's not playing a great team, but he's in the East. He lost to a Boston team with a bunch of rookies and Al Horford. Not saying they're bad. Like Jason Tatum, Rozier, they showed up. Jaylen Brown. But they didn't have Kyrie, they didn't have Hayward. Giannis was definitely the best player on the court.
By far.
His team does kind of suck other than Middleton.
The thing is, that team shouldn't be as bad as they are, especially now. But we'll see in the season.
Yeah, I think he needs to develop a jump shot, too.
A 3 as well.
A 3. I think in today's NBA, you definitely need a jump shot, especially at the small.
Well, we were just talking about DeRozan. developing a three. Like he'd be way
exactly.
better.
But DeRozan also has a mid-range. Giannis doesn't even have a mid-range really.
He's just a force.
When I use him in 2K and I'm open, I have to get a green release or it doesn't go in. You know, like yeah.
That's how you can tell he sucks.
That's how you can tell 2K ratings.
Yeah.
Maybe. But Giannis is a monster though.
Really good.
His arms are huge. He's got a huge wingspan. He's super athletic. He can take it to the rim. He can rebound. He can pass the ball. He can do everything. He gets blocks. He just needs to work on his shooting percentages, like from his free throw percentage.
Did you see his dunk over Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Yeah, he can jump. And he's huge.
Killed him.
Yeah, no, Giannis is a monster.
He's very good.
I think he'll be an MVP contention for this year. He was early last season. I don't really know what happened. He fell off a bit, but he's definitely, and he plays defense, so
yeah,
he's great. Number 2, solid.
I know who your top number 1 is, but I think I put him in my centers list.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? So I have.
But he's not a center though.
He's both.
No, he's a power forward.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put him in my center list just because I've already have that. Oh, actually, no. I can alter it. Okay, I'll alter it. Just because I know it's obvious.
I'm like a 20,000% sure he's a power
It's fine.
forward.
No. I'll change my list. Because
I think that's why Cousins was at center, and I think.
Yeah, agreed. Well, and then on the Pelicans, we have Mirotic playing center right now.
Let me just do a quick Google search, but I'm pretty
folks.
Positive.
We have to do some research quick, just because we're not sure.
Just 1 second.
I think he plays both.
No, he can play both, but yeah, he's primarily
a PF. But he can't. I put him in the center, but yeah. Let's put him as a PF, and I'll change my center list. I'm gonna need you to do your center list first, then.
Oh yeah.
Just because, okay.
All right, that's fine. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just switch my list down a tier and then.
But it's kind of obvious you know what I'm talking about, so you can go for it.
Anthony Davis.
Of course. Monster.
Predicted MVP next season.
Yeah,
I
have him number 1 for MVP.
Yo, this guy can splash. He can shoot the 3.
He can shoot.
He can shoot the 3.
Yeah, I'm open with him in 2K, and it goes in the corner sometimes. I'm very impressed.
Well, dude, in 2K17, I was like, yo, that's cheese. When this guy scored 3s. But now I'm like, if it doesn't go in, I'm like, yo, that's cheese.
He's got a mid-range. He's one of the top defenders in the NBA.
Probably second best.
Yeah, I think he
was
first
best.
He was third in MVP contention. His numbers are crazy. This guy can score 40, 50 points.
Blocks, steals, points, rebounds. Only thing he doesn't do is assists. Yeah, he doesn't need to do that.
Exactly. His injuries have been slowing him down a bit, I think, in regular season especially.
But he's still the best.
But they swept Portland, and Damian Lillard was... People were trying to say Damian Lillard was top 2 point guard in the NBA with the way he was playing last year. I think Damian Lillard...
Regular season, he probably was.
Yeah, I think Dame actually went first team.
He did, over Westbrook, over Kyrie, over Chris Paul. But the thing is, it's only based on regular season stats.
But still, that means that he played the best of every point guard. Well, Steph was injured, averaging 26 points a game. So he's injured. That's the only reason.
That's true.
And Kyrie was injured a lot, too.
But I still think Westbrook had a better regular season than Dame. He averaged a triple-double. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we don't make the NBA list, unfortunately. But that's just
so a team with the point player who was supposed to be the best point guard. They had the 3rd seed. I know the 3rd seed and the 6th seed, it was only a 1 or 2 game apart, but they swept them. Anthony Davis without Cousins.
They were looking... If they had Cousins, that team in the playoffs...
Yeah.
They would have put up a better fight against Golden State. They still won a game.
Yeah, I honestly think the Pelicans suck. I think Anthony Davis has been busting his ass for years, and the Pelicans just suck. They just they
had some pieces. They have Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday who's battling injuries earlier in their career. They had Eric Gordon when he was around the time of the All-Star.
He was super good,
but injuries. So I feel like Anthony Davis had terrible luck with his own injuries, his teammates' injuries. Obviously, Cousins got injured last season.
Well, their team looks interesting this year. We'll see how they do.
I have him as the 4th best player in the NBA overall, but
pretty yeah.
I have him in my top 5. I have him number 4, but I think he's a monster. Best power forward. Honestly, I think he's the best big man by far. I think he's better than everyone on our center list too. But that's just my.
I agree. I think he's the best center in the NBA as well.
Yeah,
but
best big man.
I had him on my center list, but I'm gonna move him to power forward to make my center list more interesting.
Okay, so you can go power forward.
So my list is actually the exact same, but before I actually had who was your number 2?
Giannis.
So I had Giannis at number 1.
Yeah.
Draymond at number 2 and Aldridge at number 3.
Okay, I agree with that.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take.
Actually, I don't agree with that, but I do.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Davis, Draymond, Oh my God, what's his name again?
Davis, Giannis, Draymond.
Davis, Giannis, Draymond, Aldridge is an honorable mention.
Yeah, that's
I'll
fair.
just talk about Aldridge a bit. Kawhi was out. They still made playoffs.
Yeah.
Averaged like 25 points a game. Pretty good shooter.
Did he average that much?
Maybe not 25. Definitely 20, like 3 to 25.
I think he averaged around 20 and 8 or something. He was solid.
He was good.
Marcus Aldridge was an all-star in Portland.
Yeah, was an all-star.
He's a great player. He's definitely.
No, he was an all-star last year too on the Spurs.
Oh, he actually made the all-star team.
He did.
I said earlier I didn't know if he made the all-star team.
No, he did. He did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I feel like I don't hear enough about LaMarcus Aldridge.
I think it's because he's on when the other thing is like since he's Spurs, like it's such a small the Spurs. Everybody's always like, oh yeah, they're good, but like who watches this? The media doesn't watch like.
Yeah, Spurs are boring.
They're never. They are
so
boring.
fundamental.
And the other thing is LaMarcus plays a really boring style of ball, like rebound. He plays like Tim Duncan, just more.
But like he's not Tim Duncan.
Not Tim Duncan, exactly.
But he's good. Yeah,
he's good. Yeah, he's definitely good.
Yeah, I honestly would have had him fifth.
Who would you have put in an honorable mention spot instead of Aldridge? If we put
controversial, but I would have put Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love he averaged 20 and 10, I think, in the finals last year.
As number one options, Kevin Love, I would say, is probably better.
Yeah, because when he was in Minnesota, he was averaging like 25
But the thing is, he didn't play in Minnesota last year.
And I also feel like your numbers kind of drop when you play with LeBron. Not because LeBron's bad or anything. It's just, I don't know, LeBron has a high usage rate, so he also just hits who's ever open.
Yeah.
But so Kevin Love's not really a priority. It's sort of like Clay. Mm-hmm. I can see how Kevin Love hasn't shown up, though, in a lot of playoff games, so maybe Aldridge would be better. But I didn't see if Aldridge was really even that good without Kawhi last year. I know they faced Golden State first round, but... I think it's a toss-up between those two, but...
I agree, yeah. I didn't actually even really think of Kevin Love while I was making my list. But yeah, no, he's definitely good.
I love Kevin Love, though.
Yeah, he's definitely good. But so we've actually agreed for the most part on...
Yeah.
But I feel like it's pretty... Just because we both watched a lot of the NBA last year, I feel like it's pretty, like... Mm-hmm. It's not really a toss-up for most of these positions.
And top 3 is usually toss-up, but top 5, we usually do have the same players. It's just in different
orders. That's what I mean,
orders.
it's just different orders.
Yeah,
let's hear... I want to hear your center list.
You want to go first?
Center list, yeah. I feel we actually talked about this yesterday.
I feel like we have. I feel like we should just have a similar everything, but I don't know. It could. Cat.
At 3?
I have him at 3. I think Cat would be higher.
I would have him higher as well. Unless playoffs last year and this whole Jimmy Butler debacle has like.
Yeah, I think Cat didn't perform in the playoffs like I expected him to.
He was really, really not good.
He would have been number 2 for me if he hadn't played like shit.
Getting like 6 points, I think, one game. Like,
I wasn't very impressed with his performance, but realistically, as a player, Cat can shoot the 3 ball.
Really good.
He can rebound.
The only thing with Cat, I think he's crazy good. Mm-hmm. His defense needs some work.
Yeah, I'd have no idea what his defense is like, but I don't hear rave reviews.
I watch him playing on other centers, and it's like he's just getting bullied. It looks like.
Yeah, his stats are probably decent, but I feel like he could definitely toughen up.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that's why he's not number 2. But the thing is, it kind of upsets me to put the guy I'm going to put at number 2 because he doesn't play. Joel Embiid, I love Joel Embiid. Though.
One really good season.
And I really want to see this guy play the majority of a season and be healthy because I don't know, the things he does, like he had a game last year where he was just... How many blocks did he have? He had like 7 blocks. I swear
this guy got 55 points, 7 blocks.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. He's on my fantasy team, and I was just... I killed these guys. But Joel Embiid... And he wasn't even playing most of the games. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was sitting out a lot.
Yeah, but Joel Embiid is his elite defender. In the paint,
good. It's because he's so strong. That's what I mean. Like, when I watch Cat, like, say, go up against a Joel Embiid, it's like...
you feel like he's getting bullied.
He's getting bullied.
I feel like Joel Embiid can really punk you out. Yeah.
I literally feel like Cat cannot do anything against... Yeah, he just doesn't look strong enough.
Yeah, and Joel Embiid's very athletic. He can shoot. He can do it all. Joel Embiid is the man. He's just not a durable guy. He's always injured. And he could arguably be... If he wasn't injured all the time, I think he would be number 1 on my list. And even though number 1 on my list, I think, is a clear favorite for most people, and that's another reason why they hate Golden State. We're going to go with DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins,
so good.
He's great.
So I have actually I have 2 lists because of his injury.
Okay, yeah.
So.
If we take apart... Well, he hasn't really... yeah, if we don't talk about his injury, like before his injury, he was playing. He had games where he could have 50, 40 points on you. He could rebound and he can pass. He does it all.
And block.
He's like a way better version than Draymond, but Draymond plays probably better defense. But Cousins still plays great defense.
Cousins can play the defense.
No, he still plays great defense. Yeah.
Especially on centers who usually aren't. Like, how many good centers are in the league?
Not a lot. That's a lost start.
That's why
and he can dribble the ball.
He's got some handles.
Crazy. This guy's like 6'10" or something, and he can dribble. He can do whatever. He can play inside, outside. He can play a higher position. He could play small forward if you wanted him to. Like Cousins can run. He's great. I think he's
super good.
So you can go through this.
So I have two lists. I actually have two lists. I'm gonna leave my honorable mention out of it. So I actually have Karl Anthony Towns over Joel Embiid. Just because I do think Joel Embiid's better. It's just he's had one or two. His rookie of the year season, he played 30 games. I don't even count that. And then last year he had his first like really true good season, but he still sat out a lot. And it's the same thing with Oladipo. Like it's hard to just be like, oh yeah, they're top 3 after one season. So I don't know. I would just put Cat over him, even though I think Joel Embiid is better. I would just put Cat over him.
Yeah.
And then number 1, exact same.
Cousins, yeah, so it's pretty.
But my theory craft, top 3. Say DeMarcus next year's ACL. ACL injury is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a huge deal.
You're never the same after ACL. No players ever come back. Actually, DeJounte Murray just had an ACL injury as well.
I forgot what Livingston's injury was, but it was really bad.
Was it not ACL?
I don't know, but Sean Livingston,
he had a super bad injury as well. But I honestly, being completely honest with you, I don't think DeMarcus Cousins is going to be dominant.
You don't think he's going to be as good as he was?
I think he's going to fall on the list dramatically. I think he's going to probably become a top. Definitely he'll always be in the top 10, but it's just hard to say because I haven't seen any practices with him. I haven't seen anything.
I think it's like.
But it's like, how do you come back after an ACL?
I think it's also really hard to show on a team like Golden State with so many standout stars.
He'll be the 5th option probably.
Yeah, like his stats definitely won't be like like the same they were last season.
As on New Orleans or on even Sacramento. His Sacramento stats were foul.
Like Steph and KD's stats aren't as good as they should be. Clay's stats could be higher. Draymond's stats are where they should be, I think.
Yeah, they'd all be about but anyway, so if say Cousins is not, say next year he either sits out the whole season, which actually could happen, or we have to talk about something else after this. But say he just doesn't perform that well, I would actually this would be my list. Rudy Gobert would move to 3, then Joel Embiid, and then I would put Cat up top.
I'm gonna give you a player, and I bet you say he's better than Gobert.
Let's hear it.
Jokic.
He's really good, but I actually think Rudy is better. Only Rudy defensively. Okay, wait. But Rudy Gobert is getting you 15 points a game at least. I think 13.9 or 14 or something. But he's getting you guaranteed easily 10.
I think that's more of like a preference between offense and defense.
But his defense
can put 40 down any game.
You think so? And his assists are pretty good. Yeah. See, those are two players. I just feel like Rudy is just a better player.
Yeah.
From what I've and look at the win share without Rudy.
I haven't watched enough Utah games to give you an accurate depiction. I haven't even watched enough Denver games. I watched one Denver game against the Timberwolves, and Jokic went off. They lost, but he went off, so he's my guy now. So that's what I'm gonna say.
He's a good player. Yeah. See, I would maybe even put him in. Say my theory craft list. Say Cousins doesn't come back. I would maybe put him in the honorable mention slot, and then put Cousins at 5. Just depending on what happens.
It depends what happens next season. Yeah, we'll see. I don't even think Cousins can really show how good he is on Golden State.
He doesn't have to. He just has to. Yeah. And the thing is,
because they're about winning, they don't care.
They need him to play defense, but he's not the best defensive center.
That's true.
So you know what I mean? It's like after an ACL injury, how fast? Like, what if the centers? What if they have AD at center? What's he gonna do? He's gonna blow by him every time. Shoot threes over him. Like he can't do.
With the ACL injury, it'll be harder for sure.
It will be harder.
But for the most part, our lists were pretty similar.
Pretty similar, yeah.
And I think this went pretty well.
So I actually think we need to talk about one more thing. I think we need to talk about the absence of some players, like obviously Porzingis. We left off our list, and that's just because, like, he didn't play, and he's not playing at all this season. He really hasn't done like he's insane. Like he definitely deserves.
You know what? Would we have put Porzingis on the power forward list? If we didn't have Giannis on the list, I would have put him third.
It's hard not to put Giannis on the list though, because the small forward list is so good that it's like
I didn't want to leave a guy like Giannis out.
That's like me too.
But if we had left Giannis out, I might have had him third.
What would your list have looked like?
It would have probably been AD, Draymond, and then Porzingis maybe.
Porzingis is pretty good.
So,
but the thing is, he still really hasn't done much. And I think there's actually a couple rookies, or not rookies, second-year players that have potential to be in the top 5 this year. I think that last draft class was really good.
Which one?
The Jason Tatum, Mark. Like, I think Markelle Fultz could make a case for a really good point guard this year. I think.
There's no way in hell he make top 3.
No. Well, Ben Simmons we didn't even put on top 3. And Ben Simmons is really, really good.
Ben Simmons is good too. No jumper.
Jason Tatum could potentially make the shooting guard or small forward list, whatever position he plays.
No one can make the small forward list.
Honorable. He can be a top 5 though.
He could be a top 5. Aside from top 3, yeah.
Lauri Markkanen, very good.
He's good, but
he's very good.
Yeah. We'll see. This is gonna be a good season.
It is gonna be a good season.
I'm excited for them.
There's a couple of players I'm really excited. You want to know? I'm actually really excited for that Chicago Bulls team. Lauri Markkanen, Jabari Parker.
I feel like there's going to be one team that just really surprises people, sort of like the Celtics did last year. There's a lot of young cores out there.
Yeah, Celtics are really
Phoenix,
good.
Lakers, and a lot of
Phoenix
teams
are looking pretty decent.
Yeah, so you know what? I think we should wrap it up, but I want to say that I think I'm looking forward to seeing how we
I'm looking forward to
talk about the top 3 players at the end of the season.
I
or maybe
agree.
even midway through the season.
We can always look back at this list and be like, oh my god, like what were we thinking not putting Patrick Patterson on the top small forward list?
Oh,
Patty P! Let's go, Patty P!
Who knew JaVale McGee wasn't going to be the best center in the league? You know, no, but anything could happen.
It is the NBA. Anything can happen.
So,
JaVale could average 28, 9, and 10, for all we know.
If that happens, you can tattoo JaVale's face on my arm.
Okay. If that happens, you're in your first.
28, 9, and 2.
28, 9, and 2. Come on, JaVale. The second option on that team. You're the number 1 option on that team, JaVale. Let's go.
So we're going to wrap it up.
But yeah, let's wrap it up.
David Fox, co-host. I don't know why I went first.
Yeah, I'm the host. I don't know why you did that either. That's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like we're about as equal as hosts.
No.
We've been the same amount of episodes.
So far. Before you cut me for a white guy.
Jeez! Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, that's it. Do you want to just quickly? I feel like our lists. I feel like they're meshed. I feel like we actually agree. So let's just combine our list, and I agree with you on the point guards. I would say,
Steph number 1, Kyrie, Chris Paul.
Yeah, that's what I would put.
Shooting guards, we went with James Harden, Klay Thompson, DeMar DeRozan. I guess. Well, you went DeRozan. I wanted Jimmy Butler. I honestly always have a hard time going between the two, so we'll just leave them tied.
Okay. Yeah.
Small forward, LeBron, KD. Kawhi.
Yep.
Power forward, Anthony Davis. We went Giannis, Draymond. And center, we just went Cousins. And interchangeable between Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns for us.
And then I would say, Rudy or Jokic at third.
But for the most part, we agree pretty much. You can't argue with stats. You can't argue with win shares. You can't argue with statistics sometimes. Sometimes
it's hard.
You can't be. Sometimes there's a little bias, but overall, most people's top list should look similar unless you're Bleacher Report and you put Kyrie as the 20th best
and you
player
put DeRozan at 38.
Was it Bleacher Report? Who put Kyrie, or was it ESPN who put Kyrie at number 20?
Both lists were not great.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not great. It's a bad
They probably about Ben Simmons ahead of Kyrie Irving.
Did they really?
Yeah, they really hate Kyrie. I don't know what's happening.
But yeah, no, that's Sideline Sit Down episode 2. You heard it here from the sideline. Peace out, guys.